My background is in education. I taught elementary, and when I retired, I then went on to work at the university, and I worked at the university for about half as long as I taught. And my last position with the university was at the Institute of Cybersecurity here at UTSA, and I wrote curriculum. The reason I'm giving you that background is because I truly believe that artists work with both sides of their brain. And when I'm working with technology, and by the way, I love that. I love that chat. I got to go and try it. Wow. It put me in a different mode of thinking. But what was I saying? What I was saying was, because we use both sides of our brain, we're able to be extraordinarily creative. And I don't think that that is something that we as individuals nurture without the help of others or without environment. When I paint, and this large painting right out here is one of mine, I paint with my hands. And that is usually about all I use. I'll use brushes every once in a while, but it's very rare. I'll use implements. My hands are relatively clean today because I was coming here, but my hands are always filthy. Well, they're not filthy to me because they're covered with paint, but my fingernails are usually just filled with paint, and I love it, because it's my connection to my canvas. It becomes part of me when I am painting. And it's a very spiritual journey in many ways, because I lose my sense of being. And I'm suddenly in conversation with the canvas, and it's telling me what to do. When I first start painting, I put down a layer of a lot of material that adds texture. And if you notice in my painting, and I'm sure I'm not the only artist, but I love texture. I have to feel it, just like I have to feel the canvas. And as I add texture, it tells me this is what I have to do. It tells me what colors to use. What colors do I need to add to it? And then I will take either a stick or a fork or whatever is on my table, and I'll strike. And I'll start to draw lines that give the texture more edges. Whether they're soft or hard, it doesn't matter to me. What matters is that it is communicating with me and telling me what to do. And the colors also come about in the same manner. I was working on a piece after I do a lot of walking, and I was walking around Hardburger. I usually walk at Hardburger as well as Eisenhower and other places. But all of that external environment influences me. And one of the pieces that I finished a while back, about a month ago, was a piece that reflected my experience in Colorado with the aspens. And it was perfect, because aspens, if you've ever seen them in the fall, they're absolutely gorgeous. And all of those lines just came back to mind, because at this point in time in San Antonio, many of the trees are leafless. So it just struck that memory with me. Shadows also play an influence in how I create. I walk in the evening around my neighborhood, and it's a small neighborhood. It's gated, so there's not a lot of traffic, but I get to look at the shadows on the ground, and I take photos of them, because I see the branches and how the branches are actually yelling for the leaves. And when I see the dried leaves that are gathered on some, I think, you know, those shadows are wishing the leaves would hurry up and come so that they themselves can feel covered like the trees. That's the kind of thinking that I go through when I produce pieces. I'm not a realist. I'm an intuitive abstract painter. So I don't really have, I'm not creating something that I'm looking at. In effect, I'm taking the essence of what I see or feel and reproducing it on the canvas. So the process I go to is very intuitive, simply because I'm interacting and I'm allowing it to tell me, what do you want me to do with you today? And it's not something I do immediately, and it's not something I can do quickly. It takes time. And I think that it's a very spiritual journey, and I think artists do have that process that they go through at some point in time. And it's enjoyable. And it completes you, to steal a line. I don't think Tom would mind. But it's a wonderful process, and I love color. And I think in color, and I think that's the world, and that influences me. So thank you very much for the opportunity. I hope that you gained some insight into my thinking. And I'd love to talk to you about my painting, as well as all the artists who are here. I would love to talk to you. So thank you very much.